Koala Killer and Co. Koala Killer, Mephisto, Mori. They got Crazy Ed standing in. I'm a little bit hoarse today, so it should be fun. Who else do they have? There's someone else that I was like, oh yeah, that's great. Dark Phoenix, Inglorious, that's it. I think, and Falcus. I think Dark Phoenix is the one that's got the standing for. In about half a minute, I'm going to go and just say hello to Becca because she's about to get home. Well, you have to do that. Yeah, alright, Red, fucking hold on. Just trying to sort some stuff. Music is on the go. Good evening, everybody. We'll be live shortly with Geoff versus Gune. In the interim, please enjoy the waiting room music. Evening, everybody. We're just waiting for A lobby and B the librarian to finish food, and then we'll be live with Geoff versus Gune. Geoff lads, I'm sure, are thrilled and excited. Oh, Coop's signature hero, you mean? Rhymes with Menomancer. Yeah, so Coop is subbing in for Hobbit today. And I think Crazy Ants is subbing in for Gune. Maybe mistaken there. That's what I'd seen at least. Well, the lobby's live, and it's all good and well except for the fact there's only one team there. No sign of Gune just yet. No, it's hardly secret details. It would take you 5 seconds after clicking on her profile to see that Venomancer is one of her main heroes. The question of whether Gune have done their homework or not. Speaking of, still not around yet, given that the game due to start in a minute, and better get a bloody move on. There would never be such actions of revenge. I wouldn't allow it. I would just unmod them. You want me to, Oh look, I found another Egypt to join me.
Hello, good evening.
Welcome, Librarian.
Thank you. Thank you for your understanding of me needing food.
That's alright.
I'm sure I won't have terrible belly aches in 5 minutes' time, but yeah.
Alright, as there's plenty of you in chat, would one of you kindly just let us know about audio levels between myself and Librarian? Are they about the same? Is one of us too loud? Perfect.
Nice.
Perfect. Thank you for those people that are following as well. I appreciate that. It's pushing me towards being able to get an emote. Oh boy, that'll be fun. Having one whole emote.
Oh my god, we have a wild hedgehog in chat.
Yeah, single emote. Yeah, it's a magnifying glass. It's always been a magnifying glass. Because it is the avatar that she called is my ghost detective, and so yeah, that's a very boring origin story of where it comes from. But when I started at when I started my PhD, they had some new 3D printers, and we were encouraged to print something as a practice, and I printed a little Pac-Man ghost. And then at some point, someone brought in some googly eyes, and so we stuck googly eyes on it. And then whilst cleaning out a desk, someone found this tiny magnifying glass, and it's literally like an inch tall. And I just happened to have some blue tack on my desk, and it got blue tacked onto it. And so it became the ghost detective. At some point he lost an eye, and so we 3D printed him an eye patch, which is why I have this as my avatar now. Just happened that way. It's a very boring story, but...
to be fair, on Steam, it looks a little bit like a little bird with a beak.
The best thing is when
you don't see the ghost.
If you can see on when I join a coach slot, it looks like the headphones fit it perfectly, and that's the best thing. And that's it. We'll never hear from Stesi again because he's been jinxed. Well, we're still just waiting for the rest of Gune to arrive. We have 3 of them, but we're still missing, I believe, Dark Phoenix and Koala Killer?
Shouldn't they have a stand-in? Koala Killer is in lobby now, so we're waiting for last person to show up.
I think it is potentially Crazy Ads standing in for Dark Phoenix, but I may be misinformed on that. Geoff has 1 stand-in. Coop is standing in for Hobbit, and for once, they have Webanana acting as his proper role as POS1.
Yep.
And which means that Schmupster will be in his usual POS3 position.
Do you think it's much of a difference for the team, given that they played with Coop last year?
No, I think they've also done. I mean, I think certainly Webanana and Coop play together quite a lot anyway, just in pubs. I think even may have scrimmed with Coop. I'm not entirely 100% on that. So I think it's going to be fairly easy transition. I mean, there's no chance in heck any of them have practiced playing with each other. So yeah, there's no point guessing whether they've put any work into practicing as a team. That's just beyond reasonable. Yeah,
okay.
Last year as well, including in the grand final for them.
Yep, the whole finals weekend actually. Coop stood in.
Upper bracket too.
Yes, because Hobbit was away for the whole week. I think it might have even been for more of the playoff run than just upper bracket final. But I would need to go back to my notes for that. But I think Hobbit was away for at least from the Wednesday onwards. And they had Kieran standing in, Kieran with a C, that is, for carry, as where Banana was working, I think, on the Friday as well. And I see Kieran is in chat, so he can probably tell us for how many games Coop stood actually in. Have we actually confirmed who the stand-in is?
No, because there's still a 5th slot available on Gune, so not actually.
Okay.
Currently just waiting.
Let me quickly browse the Discord to clear that up.
Well, I was thinking we might also have there might have been a Flax stream that we're waiting for as well, but it looks like he's actually playing Dota 2.
Yeah, I don't think he's casting this. We know he despises Live, Love, Luton or now Geoff as they won, and he definitely, Flax is not a person that wants winners. So.
Although he is promoting the game with the stream title, the only tournament that matters, the Gune International. So.
Oh, that's nice.
Inadvertently.
Dark Phoenix just turned up.
Okay, so
Great.
no stand-in.
They
for
are
Gune.
complete. Okay, perfect. Lobby seems to be set.
Well, I'm going to change this over to this then. And we can, because the draft will be underway shortly. That's very rude, Soups. I think it's actually have very different play styles, but actually that Coop and Hobbit play at very similar level.
I think Hobbit brings a level of aggression to the post 5 position that Coop cannot really replicate, but I think Coop has some very, very decent heroes, and she has a lot of rapport with the team, so I think it is probably a pretty good one-to-one trade, I would say, for the team. Maybe in a sense a little bit of a downgrade, given that Hobbit already played a lot of series with this team this year, so he definitely, I would assume, is more in sync with the team as it stands now, but I think Geoff has full confidence in the substitution today.
Yeah, of course, this will be a completely unbiased stream as well. I mean, it will be. We're quite happy to flame Geoff in a cock-up.
Yeah, call NZfedX a dog shit noob whenever we can, but I'm looking forward to the mid matchup. Inglorious, I think, is playing mid for Gune, if I'm not completely mistaken.
I think you are mistaken.
Am I mistaken?
No, I don't know, actually. I just was assuming, making an assumption that you're mistaken.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Just guessing. There's a non-zero.
I tried to solve my typical caster audio issues by not putting my second monitor on, so now I have to navigate the phone if I want to do research, where also the stream is on. So it's a little bit, so I can see a little bit chat, because last time I was very confused when you replied, or when you said something like, "Oh, that's a very good question. I didn't ask a question at all." So I think I need to catch up a little bit on what's going on.
Yes, Dennis. Sorry, that is a link to Mind of a Goon. I can attest that it is a safe link, but I appreciate the concern. But yes, you're also right. Don't read random QR codes on the internet.
Unless it's on your stream, because then it could also be ads you run for laser companies in the UK or something.
Don't dox me. Alright, so Gune have banned NZfedX, Ember Spirit, and NZfedX Tinker. So they've just said, we're not letting you have fun this game, FedEx. You can play something boring. Which, to be honest, might have done him a favour, because he was lagging like crazy earlier. And so
he had like 900 ping.
He was playing off.
I was informed.
It was terrible. So maybe they're doing him a favour here.
But that's usually when NZ picks Meepo, and then AFKs in Fountain, and all chats can't control hero. Where am I? So I'm assuming great things from NZ today on lag. Or we get like an hour of pauses, and Redolus has to start the stream with a forfeit and with game 2 of the second series, because we are gonna hand this over directly to Redolus after this series for another Geoff series.
Yes, straight after this. So hoping everything goes to plan, because at 10:30 in UK time, they will be playing against Ice Shitters, I think it is.
Yeah, cracking series, I assume.
No, I imagine it'd be good fun.
I think maybe a little bit different than this series. I expect this series to actually be really competitive. I think, have I watched Gune this International? I might have caught like half a game or a game, but they seem to be pretty decent, and Geoff is just a mixed bag. Okay,
so there we go, Geoff. Geoff immediately pick up Were Banana Monkey King. I think we can with confidence say this is Were Banana's hero.
Yeah.
Was also banned by Gune, so despite the threats that Schmupster might play it, they've said, no thank you. But Witch Doctor and Warlock banned for Geoff, I guess.
And Nature's Prophet.
But Prophet makes sense. It's just too much control, being able to flit around the map and grab wisdom runes and things like that. Too much control in the current meta. Shaker banned as well.
That's an emu targeted ban. Yeah. So interestingly, they don't target one player on Gune. I think a lot of teams try to, against like the quote unquote better teams, try to ban out heroes for one specific person to make them very vulnerable to counter picks and stuff like that. But Gune spreads out their bans for the emu shaker. But I think also Schmupster plays a little bit of Shaker. They also ban out the Brewmaster, they ban out the Timber on Schmupster, and NZ gets targeted bans.
So they definitely have,
and the Ember.
Gune have done their research on Geoff. It definitely seems like and they haven't fallen into the trap I think a lot of teams in the Gune International have, which is banning out a load of supports and then having to sort of quickly ban out whichever hero is left in their last 2 bans. So they've definitely not fallen into that trap, which Geoff have banned the main ones I think at the moment. I
think they just try to. Geoff is probably taking out the giga broken shit that's in the meta. But no gyrocopter ban so far, so I could see a team pick gyrocopter up. Even though after the nerf patch, it's not as broken anymore, but yeah.
We could see a Venno pick here. Venno is a little bit situational, and so I don't know if they'll want to pick it this early. And as Coop is probably playing POS 5 in place of Hobbit, it's more likely to be something like Lich, which is
I think a Lich
preferred heroes, or Jakiro.
I honestly think a Lich would be also decent lane. You have.
There we are. Oh god, it's like we know these people and what they like to play. So that's almost certainly a Coop Lich. Oh, are you back? You lost your audio for a minute there.
I'm.
Oh, you're back. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm back now, but I don't understand. My mic once again lost the USB port or whatever. I have no idea. I might need a quick restart of my laptop if this continues, but we'll see.
Hoodwink. Not a hero I've seen much of. I assume this is going to be a Falcus Hoodwink?
Maybe, yeah.
Although it could be a 4 Hoodwink. But I imagine it's probably a 5 Silencer and 4 Hoodwink. That way around.
I mean, they might also run a Silencer mid, which we've seen in this tournament before. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but okay, they pick a chunky the center into the Monkey King, which I honestly think the Monkey King was picked up to actually play into such a lane.
Yeah, or that or an axe. That is a Mephisto Mori off-lane hero, if I'm not mistaken. I think that and axe were his two main off-laners. So, yeah. We now know which one they prefer because we actually get to see them this way around.
I mean, I think axe into Monkey King can be very sad. You can also win this lane, but it's very hard with the Pingu stacks building up. I think Centaur just has, I would say, a little bit better toolkit with specifically if you max your W with the nukes. I think you can bully the Monkey King out a little bit out of lane, and you always have the natural disengage to get out of the monkey ultimate, and they pick up a tiny.
This is, my guess is, an emu tiny. But they
it could be emu tiny, but it could also be a mid tiny.
Yeah, they may be flexing it to FedEx, but I suspect it's been picked up for that reason. Because if FedEx is giga lagging, I don't see him wanting to play this. Because how many times have we seen him blink in, stand there? Like I played with him too many times to count, where he's played Tony, and he's blinked in and then just stood there afterwards, because he has lagged out. So.
I mean, I think it's a good pickup against both the Hoodwink and the Silencer. You just blink on top of them and you blow them up. I think you can also do that probably as a support, Tiny. You don't need to be core for that. Oh my god, they pick a Pudge.
Butcher!
That is a Schmupster. That's a Schmupster Pudge if I've ever seen one. So it's a 3 Pudge.
Just a reminder, have you got yourself set to open mic for team?
I did. I did do that before we started the cast. Yeah. Open mics on.
Butcher picked up.
Professional level here.
I'm gonna have to look up the stats of Butcher in Gune International so far because my word,
it's probably dog.
I can't imagine that it's anything but incredible. Also, the stats are a little bit scuffed. Okay, so it's 2 and 8 at the moment. 20%
2 and 8.
20% win rate.
Picked 10 times. Who picks that hero?
It's got a 12% pick rate. And a very low ban rate. It's been played on apparently several times. So.
Okay.
I just want to say I was going to say this earlier and I completely forgot. I think I saw Cleese was in chat from Ice Shitters, and I just want to say that your Venge game the other day against Wogan's Wizards was very good, and you were one of the shining stars in what what otherwise would look like a fairly sad game. Game 1.
Was that the one we cast on Monday?
It was. It seems like so long ago. Yeah.
It's my god, it's brutal. I've watched so many games in between, and we did podcasts and we did a lot of other things. So it's like every night there's something international related.
So PL into Pudge. How does PL just play into Monkey King anyway? If it's in Monkey King ult, is it not incredibly sad?
No, I mean, I think PL into Monkey King can be okay. I think the problem is that it marks. So if you queue the PL with a lot of illusions, the Pingu stack marks the right PL, as far as I know.
Okay. But I mean,
I'm also surprised.
Just gets his axe and then runs around with rot on, right?
But they might think it's a support Pudge. I'm not sure that they are
a good point,
ready for the core Pudge.
No, so... I think this must be a Schmupster Pudge. And must be a Pos 4 Tiny to go with it, which is a little bit.
It's a scuffed lane. I don't like it.
Maybe they're looking for a toss back into Hook.
I honestly think they still pick the Emu hero. They might pick something.
No. Hellboy, if this is a Pos 4, I will eat my hat. I'm sure this is a Webanana Monkey King. It being one of his most played and most successful heroes.
Yeah. And I also think like it's not an Emu hero per se. I think it's a little bit too finicky. It's not like beefy enough.
Yeah.
So.
Well.
And I think Pudge PL can go both ways, I think. If the Pudge has a good start against PL, it's very, very sad for the PL. Because I think also when you hit level 6 and Pudge presses E, he probably doesn't take any damage from illusions, specifically if he gets a Vanguard, for example, on top of that, or Crimson even. I think this...
So I think they think
I don't know if I like the.
I think they have looked at this and think this is a mid tiny because they're banning out Enigma and Bane. Okay, we're gonna avenge last pick for Gune.
So this is a mid silencer. Or it's a mid hoodwink.
Or a mid hoodwink, yeah. It's actually.
I don't think it's a mid venge.
It can be good mid. I just don't. It doesn't have the ganking potential, does it? As much as you'd like.
I mean, it can be very, very strong if you. Like if you build it around right click and you gank early.
Okay, well that's FedX's hero on Lesh, and that's good.
Well, then it's a tiny 4.
Yeah, tiny 4. This means he can click one button and run. Which is, I think...
he presses ultimate and he presses Bloodstone, and then the game's on the way. It's also very, very good against PL. I think it's one of the strongest PL counters, the Lash. So. Okay,
very quickly then. It looks like it is a mid silencer.
It is a mid silencer.
What's your feeling on an overview of how these two teams fare against each other, just from the draft, not from skin?
I think I like Geoff's draft a little bit more. I think honestly this PL, as many PLs in the Gune National, will have a very sad time. I think we've not seen many PL wins. I think this PL needs to go incredibly tempo because Webanana will not farm. And I think Schmupster on the Pudge, once he picks up an axe, and if he's not forgetting to press his E, I don't see what can stop him. They don't have good ways to... usually against a Pudge you want, I would say, overwhelming physical damage because of the shitty armor that the hero brings. I don't see that they bring that. I'm leaning towards Geoff draft, but I can see things working out for Gune as well. If the game maybe is a little bit slower.
Yeah, I think if Gune get a kind of death ball going, I can see this being problematic for Geoff. But I think as a general draft, I think I like Geoff a little bit more. They have a few answers to some of the hard push from Gune. So look forward to seeing this as the game goes on.
Yep. I'm looking forward to seeing Emu on this Pos 4 Tiny. Not seen that in a
nice.
very long time, but it is a flashy hero, so I can see him make a lot of plays with it.
Gonna see
But
an
it
early
depends how it gets
clash
out of the gate.
straight off the bat.
Oh, yeah.
Straight into the FedEx walks up the high ground, straight into the sun. Pudge is amongst them, but I think we're going to see oh,
Pudge took Rot level 1.
yeah, that's sad. But we have had
such a grief.
We've also had Frost Shield level 1 from Coop. Where now dodges the
I like
blood
Frost
grenade.
Shield level 1, but
But
I don't like not taking Hook. Like, that's some giga grief. I think Gune actually came out better from this engagement.
definitely think they did. No deaths,
Yeah.
so no first blood yet. FedEx sitting on half health to start with, which is not what he wants.
Yeah, but he's sitting on this tower, healing up with the extra regen, and they're going for a second round.
They're still going for the same green. They thought, surely they went full fist twice. And this time it might be more successful. It may get the first
It's a
blood
first blood
onto
for Coop.
Mori. Onto the, first blood onto the Lich, which is exactly
So
what he
this is a Lich with probably a lot of regen early out of the gates. So at least it means for Were Banana on the Monkey King that he probably gets a lot of free tangos shipped to him in lane. It's not the worst. I mean,
Now, the question is, what skill build has silenced it? He's gone for the Glaives level 1.
yes. I think if he took the Q in this early engagement, they probably team wipe Geoff there.
Yeah, it's another silencer mid though, which we've not seen very super successful so far.
And also, so far, NZ is perfect on the first wave with last
Been a
hits.
little bit of trouble. The Frost Shield should keep her alive. But when I get his Jingu stacks off.
I take what I please.
Yeah. I think they just need to ship out in this bottom lane for Geoff. They need to ship out a lot of regen to be able to constantly fight.
Coop has to play it very careful here. Just a W from the Hoodwink would be enough. In the top lane, Koala Killer, a little bit sad here thanks to the...
Oh, he might go down.
Oh, very close
He lives
to going
on
down.
8 HP.
Has got tangos, but it's going to take him a little bit to get back in the... A little bit back to get back in the lane.
Yeah. And in
Meanwhile-
the mid lane, the silencer is already falling behind.
FedEx has his bottle.
Quite significantly, yeah.
This is
And
the
I think
kind of...
the fun starts at level 2 with level 2 on Coop. Once they have that, I think there's not much that can stop
wanna
the
see-
bottom lane.
Coop has got level 2 and has taken the Q. I was going to say, do you want to see take the E to keep in range
No.
the web and
No.
mashes?
You just need the slows, and I think like once Were Banana gets level 2 in his E, in Jingu
Gank
Mastery,
going on mid. He needs to come mid with Avalanche. Picks up the other water rune. FedEx just clicking away.
Thanks
It's
a
not
lot of tower
enough
damage, though.
Yeah, not enough damage to finish off the kill, unfortunately.
but rune secured, and that leaves Inglorious on he has no resources mid. So I think it might be actually better to die for Inglorious here.
Schmupster actually
Try to push the wave and then die.
leading the last hits.
Yeah. I mean, that's
thought
another issue that PL has. Very low base damage compared to the Pudge. Pudge has 86 base damage, 66 on this PL. So getting a single last hit can be rough.
Impious.
So far, Geoff is crushing the lanes, I would say. We have the first tip in the
Tip
top lane.
there. Not sure what that was for.
Maybe a
just-
mistook.
Yeah, potentially. No, Hook wasn't on cooldown.
Well, that was a mistook.
That was
so.
the mistook I was looking for, yeah.
And Coop is definitely on her A game. And action in the top lane.
Yeah.
Pudge is rotting down the Venge.
Yeah, but the stun
She lives.
actually might cause trouble for the Schmupster here. He has got regen, but he's still going to get picked off by the PL.
I'm not sure that the PL should
Grabs the
overchase
Lotus.
this.
This is quite good. Could look to turn this with... maybe he just wants to get out, I think. Potential for a hook under tower, though.
There's the potential, yeah. I think Schmupster needs to take a level in his E next, because
Yeah.
otherwise he's just dying to his own rot too much.
Emu has no mana, unfortunately, so isn't able to help the toss or the avalanche for right now.
I think
In the
Emu should get mana boots in this lane to sustain with him in the punch.
Yeah.
We'll see what he picks up. He might also rush the blink.
What have we got queued up, people? Cooper's already queued up Pavis and a Glimmer. She's got a clear plan in mind.
Yeah, and Coop
Schmupster,
bought boots.
Vanguard.
So that's
Yeah.
big news from Coop Cam.
Oh, Schmupster misses a near point blank hook.
I think Shmup tries to go a little bit too much for the skill shots. I think he should just try to run on top of them. I wouldn't mind getting... he rushes the Vanguard. He could also get an early boots.
He has
just
taken
run
a
them
point
down.
in flesh heat now, so
Yeah. But he's not pressing it. Now he's pressing it. Yeah, and I think this is a dead PL. Now the fun starts for this punch lane.
unfortunately
coming
he
in.
didn't have enough mana to...
And it's
nearly misses the
Koala
kill
killer.
there. And instant tips back. Though Schmupster still could go down here. Yep.
Yeah.
Falcus gets the return kill, but Emu picks
Emu
up
gets the double kill.
second kill. I mean, when you look at the core last hits the knives, Geoff certainly
Yeah.
showing an advantage here in the early game.
And this silencer is
They are attempting to go on the webinar
not
bot,
having a good lane.
but he has got the frost shield on him, and he's just able to turn and just get his Jingu stacks off onto the Mephisto, onto Mori.
I'm honestly thinking this top lane is a disaster now for Gune. I don't see them challenging this punch. He has a Vanguard done now. It's on courier. It's flying out. This punch is not killable anymore. So I think that's where you want to be in a punch lane. You just want to be super fucking unkillable, because now he can just sit in the wave. He can deny every creep. He can get every last hit. And I don't think that if Koala Killer makes a mistake and steps up, he's dead.
Going on Inglorious mid, this is certainly a death here. Emu comes in and secures another kill. Secures, in inverted commas there. Secures another kill. Taking him to, is that 3-0? Yeah, he's 3-0.
Yeah, he's 3-0-1. I think you don't mind you're roaming tiny to get kills.
Absolutely not.
Everything helps. He's has the blink queued up. So he's halfway, a little bit over halfway to his blink. And he's also going for the wisdom rune. So he's gonna catapult in XP as well. He will be level 6 at 7 minutes.
I think he needs to be a little bit careful here. He doesn't have any more regen, and he is slowly getting whittled away with these glaives and arcane curses. Which he is maxing arcane curse on silencer as well. Hasn't taken a point in his global silence. Instead opting for 2 points in last word and 3 in arcane curse.
That is very standard for core silence, I would say.
Yeah, unfortunately he's just put an obs ward down right next to the Geoff central. Oh, and top
Emu killed Falcus. I missed that.
Yeah, I was busy concentrating elsewhere. We have got treads finished on Phantom Lancer.
Giant space crab.
The
Action in the bot lane. I think this is Mori going down, most likely.
Yeah, I suspect so. Last click. FedX on very low health, but does manage to sit just out of the way. Emu's going mid to try and get another rotation onto Inglorious, or to take the XP, I think, for a while whilst FedX goes.
Yeah,
heals
I
up.
think FedX is playing for bottom rune, and it's up and it's a regen, and they are gonna lose it to the silencer maybe. But maybe.
I don't think so with the Q.
Well, Emu can pick it up, but
It doesn't go to FedX, which I think would have been the preferable outcome there. Yeah. They do now see the obs ward on Dyer's side of the river there.
yeah, they are gonna. I mean, it's already to half health, so it has been clicked once. I think if Inglorious
I think it was just the creep.
Deny it.
Okay. Creep hitting away at it. That range creep that was just on the high ground.
Oh, even more, it should be denied now.
Schmupster has level 6 now. Could be looking to make... Yeah. And into eats.
He can
No
go
need
for the
for
next
it.
one. Oh, he missed. He got fogged. Otherwise, that's a double kill. If he's not fogged there, he eats the vengeful breakfast.
Yes, sorry. When you said that he backpacked the tangos, Red, he did. He did it in favor of grabbing the lotus from the pool, but he could have moved any of the other bits. Like I think he had at the time he had just a quelling blade or something. He could have moved out in favor of getting that in, but one of those heat the moment things, I think.
Big rotation coming mid with the smoke. They are closing in with the center as well on NZfedX.
They may end up splitting the damage across here. FedEx may just get out okay.
I think Fed is dead, and he knows it.
Yeah, he unfortunately goes down. Coop launches the ult. It bounces. Any good bounces? May take out a support here. Oh,
nope. Oh, unlucky there.
That was unfortunate.
Really
bounces.
split the damage, but it's a nice try. And I think you can already again see the issues for Gune here. Their supports are not 6. Emu is almost level 7. Coop is also like halfway to 7, I would say, because like they have crushed their lanes. The only one who has decent farm is the PL, but PL is even the PL is behind the Pudge on last hit. And he's level 5 and resorted to jungling.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure why the Falcus tipped the Monkey King there. Maybe that was a misclick.
It might have been a misclick.
There are a number of times that happens where you're trying to ping something at the top of the screen. Yeah, you can
I've done that many times because
Schmupster
I
on the hunt. I think he's right to be doing this potentially. Not
he has
much
face boots done.
Yeah, not much to fear from this. He's directly on top of the hoodwink who ran directly into him.
That's not what you want to do as a hoodwink,
no,
generally speaking.
They are rotating numbers in, and they have got a DD on the silencer.
They also have swap on Falcus, so Schmupp is coming back and he's standing still.
Perfectly still, yeah. In fact, he may go down just to the damage here, but he's okay.
The damage.
Thanks to the Vanguard, he's absolutely fine. Coop needs to be careful instead.
They have 4 heroes in the top lane. They are gonna eat Coop's brains for now on this Inglorious, and they bring a 5th hero top. I am not sure that they are not over-rotating currently. They have nothing here anymore. The fight is over.
I think if you rotate all 5 of you and you only get the enemy pos 5, you're not best pleased with that. Particularly as Banana happily clicking away at tower here, has finished his Echo Saber and his treads. Emu and Fed dinking away at mid tower.
Emu detoured with a Windlace and the Arcane Boots. So he's still 1,000 gold away from Blink, but he should have it by, I would say, probably like 15 minutes or something if he gets a couple of kills. And they are posturing for mid.
Yeah, Geoff have 4 heroes mid. Oh, it's interesting show. It doesn't manage to get too much off. They may get the Centaur here. They do. Manage to take down Mori, thanks to Emu coming in with the Q and the Avalanche and the Toss combo. I'm not sure where the Pudge Hook went there. I think he maybe got shackled at the same time. I couldn't tell.
I didn't
even show it's being used, so it didn't even cause any damage. So, also looking for a pick off on the Venge here. Should go down. Yeah.
Pretty easy kill. And I think what they are doing is, if they are smart, they just take over the triangle now and farm the enemy side of the map. They just push down the enemy offlane tower as well on Geoff.
Schmupp misses a stationary hook, clearly anticipating a backstep there.
I think Schmupp has missed so many hooks that he is now not only in the mind of his enemies, but he's in his own mind.
Yeah, he's playing
but it
the long
is
game.
A commanding lead at 13 minutes. It's 6k gold lead. Already 2 buildings down for Gune. They are not looking too hot currently. What do we have items-wise coming up? They are smoking on Gune, by the way, and I think they are trying to catch the Were Banana.
They are. Were Banana has what has he got in his courier? Oh, I haven't got the key bound to select couriers. He has got a javelin. He's going for a maelstrom. They may find him here.
Let's see him.
They might pop global to stop him getting out. Yeah, he's gonna go down here with four heroes brought round to bring him to his heels. Meanwhile,
he has pinged out the ward. So Were Banana giving with his death, he gives information to his team, and meanwhile the team moves top to take the tower. So they are kind of mirroring the movement on the map and trying to put pressure there. And I don't think Gune is again 4 people rotating again. This center
more
wall runner
value.
will be sad.
Yeah, a bit more value in getting the kill on the pos one there, but still very far off Blink if he's even going for Blink on Centaur. Schmup is going for his axe, still quite far off, but the worst here is that we're still so far away on our on getting Diffusal Blade.
Yeah, this PL is, I think,
Still 200 gold away.
yeah,
His
he's
first actual item.
And I think you usually go diff if you have a good lane and you wanna fight. I don't know if I would have finished the diffusal necessarily, given the state of affairs. But yeah.
Looking for a hunt here. Has find the Centaur. Maybe not the target you want. So,
but he has Blink flying out on Emu, so he can re-engage once the courier arrives.
Webinar has joined the fight, looking to try and jump onto the Centaur, but he's running at a tangent to them, so should get out here. Meanwhile, they're just saying, hey, let's just take this tower. Centaur TP's out, absolutely fine, no issues.
So I think now the game for Geoff is now unlocked with Emu having Blink. I think he can now make all the plays that they need. I wouldn't have minded if Schmup also rushed the Blink, to be honest, because then they have 2 people jumping in the middle of the enemy team. But they rely on Emu to make plays for them. Yeah, I assume this top tier 2 tower will go down. I don't think that Gune should contest this.
Yeah, we have finished Bloodstone on the Leshrac here, and they're going to run directly into 4 of them. Global's used, but
Rot is
maybe
on.
a little bit too late. Rot's out, and Pulse Nova is on. They are quite slow, and it looks like they will manage to get out. Schmup is continuing to look. Does have
Schmup not hooking there is a travesty.
I know. Maybe he thought he was still silenced. That was actually quite good from Gune to disengage there after running directly into the Pudge and the Lesh, who quickly managed to react and get both Bloodstone and Pulse Nova off, and Rot on.
And yeah,
could have ended very poorly.
NZ is large with his Bloodstone currently.
Yes.
I don't think you can bring him down that easily.
I think they know it. They're all sitting quite happily on the tower. NZfedX has got the ult off. Hasn't activated Bloodstone yet.
That's 2 killed and the tower goes down.
Koala
worst
Killer,
of all, Koala Killer is in there as well.
I thought for a second I thought it was Monkey King flying in, but he must have been tossed in by Emu, and that's a really good pickup for Geoff. Not sure that Koala Killer wants to get caught out there. I think maybe once the Centaur had gone down, who's most of your survivability at the moment, thanks to the Vanguard, it's not the position you want to be in. But he obviously was hovering on the edge of the fight, thinking about coming in, and that's cost him his life. Has finished the Diff Blade now, and he's going Ags next. Which is that's an option. I think he'll probably find it's too slow.
I mean, it's kind of the thing where he maybe wants to. I'm really not sure about this Axe build anymore. I think it's a little bit of a trap.
Have to ask a PL player.
Yeah. Do we have
Kieran,
a PL player?
Kieran, if you're still in chat, you're a known PL player. How is
but I think the problem is really that once what a hook by Schmupster.
Actually, a very good hook from Schmupster. If he doesn't manage to get the kill. Mori actually wasn't stunned at the end then, but just accepted his death.
I think there's no way you get out there. Anyway.
No, he just he maybe had time to potentially pop the ult, but it was on cooldown still. He maybe could have stomped actually. It might have bought a bit of space, but he did have Coop stood at the wing. Okay, no problem. Yeah, I'm not sure if you're Koala Key, you want to be hovering around this area. Schmupster on the hunt with the hook once again.
What I don't understand is why is Koala Killer now not pressuring the bot lane? He should have been there a long time ago and farmed the opposite, like the enemy jungle. Oh, and we have a DC on Coop.
DC from Coop. That's
very handy, Kieran, because that means we can maybe have a short look at what other things are lined up there.
Oh, we saw it here first. Evidence in chat is a DDoS. I want to just quickly talk about one thing. My bugbear when it comes to Gune supports this Venge. I like
What
the
is
Venge,
what is a bugbear?
Oh, you know what bugbear?
No, why do you say my bugbear?
Oh,
I've never heard that saying.
It's like my issue, my
Your pet peeve.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Is that Venge as a +4? I think rushing the Solar Crest is worthwhile, particularly in games where it's going to give you a lot of benefit. But in this game, I would have been getting a 4-staff or a Glimmer or something utility-wise.
I mean, they also don't have a Spirit Vessel against the Pudge,
Nope.
which
and
against the
not a bad
Tiny
item.
and
Spirit
against NZ Bloodstone, like
I
it
think
would be such a good game for it.
If you're going to get this one of these, what I call pseudo utility items, or a utility item but not a pseudo support item, like a Spirit Vessel or a Solar Crest, you need to be looking at the game, and like a very good game for them to have a Spirit Vessel on the Venge, for example.
Yeah.
Or on the Hoodwink, be picking up a Spirit Vessel at this point. Hoodwink has got a Glimmer Cape now queued up, so I'm calling Stream Snipe on that.
I mean, I also think that the Hoodwink should have gone like Hoodwink bought Blightstone early on. I think they should have communicated that with Venge and finished the like Solar Crest on the Hoodwink.
Yeah, this is a guide pickup.
It is a guide pickup, yeah.
It's exactly what the guide says.
Yeah, and PL wisely TP'd out after the mid-tier 2 fell, wisely TP'd out of bot lane to move top, desperately trying to find farm. Just broke the 100 last hits there. If we go to, if we have a look at the net worth, I mean, it's this PL.
FedX
Emu is
sweaty.
almost caught up.
FedX
What did
sweaty.
FedX do?
He used a shovel, dug up a wisdom rune. He moved his bottle and his void stone out of his inventory so he could pick it up to maximize the mana regen.
I mean, he's a mid player. You would assume that that's things that they know how to do. I think Geoff will go high ground here.
Keep us now doubling back for, is this a what's it called, the phylactery with the point booster and diadem? Is that phylactery?
That's a good question.
It
that
is,
might
yes.
be phylactery.
Sage's
I
Mask
never
diadem.
bought the item, so
Sage's Mask, diadem, and point booster. Sage's Mask is in his stash.
that's very aggressive.
It is very aggressive,
I
but
don't
actually,
mind it.
no, not in this game. This is how Geoff want to play. Clearly, they've clearly decided it's time to play aggressive. I think they've come to the conclusion that if they just keep running at them, that this PL will not get time to come online. Another mistook from Schmupster. Yeah,
I wouldn't mind if they took a wee little detour for Roshan before they boshed their head into high ground. I liked that they smoked, but I think they should have just smoked top because they know that the PL was farming there. Showed on the wave earlier. But maybe they just linger for the Wisdom Rune at 21 minutes.
I mean, I just want to
Depends
point
on
out
whether they have good comms. I think they just leave it there, unfortunately.
Emu is ahead of both the mid
NZ is
and the
running
lane.
for the Wisdom Rune.
Yeah,
Okay, Wisdom Rune stolen.
and that makes it super tough, even more so for Gune to get back into this, nabbing his Wisdom Runes. Yeah, I just want to point out that Emu is higher than both the off lane and the mid for
But surprisingly, given that Geoff grouped up so much as well, they are level-wise not that far ahead as you would think they should be. So Pudge and Were Banana both only level 11, and they continue grouping up. They're going for Roche now. Could be a quick and easy take. And they put it on Were Banana.
that beautiful.
Which means
boy.
that we probably see the patented Were Banana suicide into enemy base to create space for his team move that they've done so many times before.
I think I'll just watch the rest of the game like this on action cam now. Were
People
Banana.
will hate you.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't know
And
why.
I will also hate you. Because that
Oh,
puts
alright.
the burden on me to do everything in this game.
It does look a bit like Smite, yeah. Funny that.
Can I point out something?
FedEx has picked up a phosphorus stone.
Why are 4 heroes of Gune standing in base?
They're afraid. They've seen them take the Aegis, and now they're worried about this. Yeah, I do agree. But this does mean that they know that the PL's out somewhere on the map. On his own. So if he runs into Emu here, it could be a
I think he will try to challenge Emu now.
Does he know that Emu's there? He doesn't see Emu there. They have smoked out now on Gune to back up this PL. They are baiting the PL, I guess. Nope. They've now backed up.
They have an invis on NZ to break every smoke. So
he doesn't catch Koala Killer. They're very close. They should now see him on the wave. Webanana going in.
Oh, Webanana missed the sun.
Oh,
and the hook is missed.
Very close, but I think if you're Geoff, you're not too stressed about this. A tip for Schmupster makes sense.
Makes sense, says Giga Toxic caster KieranTheWise.
Why, Tippy, did you see that boundless? Good point, well made. Global silence goes down, but a little bit too late to stop this. FedEx is Webanana dropping very low. And they will get
burning the Aegis on Webanana.
They will burn the Aegis down, but FedEx is in there. Oh, the Lich ult. Bounce. Very nice bounce onto the silencer to finish up the kill. They are chasing to try and get the kill.
On the bench.
Silencer also buys back. FedEx in a little bit of trouble here, but Emu comes to the rescue, gets the clicks off.
That's pinging out to kill on Inglorious as well. No, he's, oh my god, the 4-staff was clutch.
Oh, but the 4-staff, did he just 4-staff Koala Killer out of the base?
No, I don't think so.
It definitely looked like he got 4-staffed out.
Okay. Well, maybe I didn't catch it. But meanwhile, Coop is just hitting buildings, because why the hell not? Someone has to do it, might as well be Coop. But this was disastrous sequence of events with the dieback as well.
It's just, I think the lanes were not well addressed by the Gune in this one. They had issues from pretty much from the draft. Taking this PL to the what looked like it was going to be a core pudge. Okay, maybe you thought it was going to be a support pudge, but even then, do you really want to play it into it?
By the way, whoever just planted a tree so Webanana can jump on it is a Giga Chat. It might have been the Acorn Shot tree, which is even
I think it was the Acorn Shot tree.
Like, it's even funnier.
They're going to try and get Webanana here. The swap comes out. Does pop his BKB to get out, but Emu's back in.
But it's just a bait.
I'm not sure. Yeah. I'm not sure if you can get away if you don't get the kill. I think you've got to run. Schmupster happy to just sit and be a menace. Emu's done an excellent job of his usual job of disrupting.
Ooh, and Schmupster with the
toxic.
With the old chat there.
Toxic. Emu.
Emu face of the franchise, trying to make sure that they don't get another draft penalty. Yeah, I don't see a way for Gune back in this game. I hope that they are discussing what to change in game 2, because this game looks very rough. They might take down NZ though.
Maybe.
Yule's already
he's used his post to
NZ.
Yeah, NZ drops there. And they do get the swap on the Schmupster, but who is not the hero I think you want to be swapping, especially
big Coop ult.
A huge ult from Lich there. They should get the kill on Inglorious as well. There's a buyback on Inglorious. Buyback on Mori and a buyback on Phoenix, but I don't think it'll be enough. It looks like it's enough to scare Geoff. Yeah, with 2 cores dead and a very low Webanana, they've decided that they've had enough there.
But it's 20 flesh heaps on this pudge already.
This is a good opportunity to learn.
So even though they brought him down, I think he gained 4 flesh heaps in that engagement alone.
To be clear, I'm pretty sure that it was Gune who started the tipping, with PL tipping Schmupster in lane, and Falcus tipping Schmupster in lane.
Tips came out earlier from Gune.
Gune. And then they tipped them back when they got the kill on him, and they have been tipping him for missed hooks and things. So I don't think it's too much for BM to say where are the tips now.
And it is not, it's not been super giga toxic as it has been before in other games or in in-houses. So
No. I hope that there's an element of maybe realizing that if you're going to give it out, you've got to take it back as well.
Schmupster is going for hard next. He had it queued up earlier. He went for BKB instead, which I think is cowardly.
It's the smart pickup, though.
It is, but
I don't like this. I don't like this BKB hate that goes
Koala.
on. Yeah,
Koala going down.
goes down.
And now Schmupster's even tipping his own team.
I mean, they should have seen. I don't. That was a strange move from Koala. They should have seen. They saw them walk into their bot lane. They knew
this
they
is
were
the
around.
last hurrah with the buyback on the PL.
It's a swap to save Revenge, and it does seem to have worked. Schmup might be in a little bit deep here. Doesn't I say the lack of a spirit vessel or other. Oh, it's a huge lich ult again. Excellent bounces, and the bounces are devastating for Gune. FedX
That's 4 people dead
dive.
without buyback on Gune, and the GGs are called.
Yeah.
This game is over.
I think this game was over
that was not what I expected. This game.
30k.
I think
34 to 6 is a little bit of a shellacking.
don't pick Silencer mid. I think that's the second game that I cast a Silencer mid, and both have been disasters.
We remove our approval of Coop. Yeah, a little bit late.
That's how it works.
No, unfortunately not. Yes,
but,
that was.
Good news for Redolus. We are on time for you to get the series.
Look, well, this is only game 1. We still have another game to go. Of course.
That's very true.
Yeah, so that was some really early aggression from Geoff. Those lanes heavily favoured for Geoff there. The tiny Pudge combo really made this PL's lane a misery. And of course you had a mid who was just very capable of holding his own. The rotation from Emu into that mid lane had a nice impact for FedX.
Emu going deathless on a pos 4. Massive impact from like level 2 onwards with the early mid gank. Like even though they didn't succeed on Inglorious, it put him at such a regen disadvantage that I think the lane was lost from there.
Absolutely.
Just overall good map rotations. I think like the draft pretty much worked out for Geoff as they probably intended it to be. And even though they didn't spread out to farm, they still managed to build the gold lead against Gune. I don't know. I think I need a couple of minutes to think about what Gune can change in their draft.
Absolutely.
Because this didn't work.
We will take a short break, and when we return, we'll have a chat about the last game, and then hopefully pick up for game 2, and hoping for I would say a more competitive game 2. I think hopefully Gune have a think about in this break about what they need to do to fix their draft. But we'll see you shortly.
5 seconds.
Oh, no, you're back. Okay. Are we live?
Yeah, we're back.
Okay.
We're back, baby. Game
Oh,
two.
we're back. Okay.
Some weird issues going on. Don't know if it's a Twitch thing, because it was showing as OBS was saying I didn't drop any frames, but also. I'm not
I mean,
sure.
you were offline, kind of, with this stream.
Yeah, but
I think.
I don't know if it was a Twitch thing,
Huh.
because OBS was saying live the whole time.
5 seconds.
So I think
Weird.
That's the weird thing.
Sabotage going on.
Hands up. Banning time.
Yeah, not sure what that was about.
10 seconds.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, same
draft
bands
for
by
game number 2. Yeah, same bands
bands so
coming out.
far.
We're the
Yeah.
winners.
Which makes sense. None of that. I think they are still concerned about FedEx, Ember, or Tinker.
What do you think that Geoff will just go for the same draft if they are allowed to? I mean, they
I think they
banned
will-
the Tiny now, but there
I
are
think they
other
will pick
playmakers
up-
in the pool.
Yeah, I think they'll still pick up Webanana, Monkey King, first pick if it's still available at the time. And then they'll probably aim to pick up
There goes the ban.
Lich again if they can.
Yeah.
I really hope Gune don't pick Silencer. I just think this is such a weak mid laner to try and then rotate with into this very fast run at you strat by
5
Geoff.
seconds.
I honestly think if you pick your mid first, it has to be a hero that changes the outcome of the game by being able to change the map in some way. Like, I think Geoff picked Ember Spirit in a series first pick. And they did that because they knew it gave them something to like play around.
Dyer's choice. Let's give
But
them a
I
second.
don't think that a silencer does that. Like a silencer is highly immobile. Doesn't really bring anything to team fights besides pressing ult and of course like getting a Q off. There's the Monkey King first pick, and they picked the Witch Doctor, which wasn't banned out. So Geoff being punished by not banning Witch Doctor but banning Viper instead, a hero that they also hate. So
Yeah, maybe if they're playing on similar lineup, maybe that's more important to them is losing that guaranteed break. And it's also quite strong with the Ags at the moment.
5 seconds.
Yep.
4, 3, you get it.
But I'm not sure if you let Witch Doctor through. I think Witch Doctor gives them already a little bit more oomph in those early engagements with the pure damage coming out of the Death Ward and Maledict as well. I think, for example, Witch Doctor is pretty good against Pudge with the Maledict, as the rot damages you and feeds into the
5
Maledict.
seconds. 3.
So I can see them also picking it up to maybe tell Schmupster that he should maybe play another hero this time around. But there's still the Brewmaster open.
They have banned the Necro out, and they've also banned out Venge, which I think is interesting.
I think they are just sick of being swapped.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that makes sense.
We're 10 seconds.
It is also Venge
Time to
is.
tell an announcer you love 'em.
I
If
think
that's what's in-
Venge together with
5 seconds.
Witch Doctor can work quite well because you can swap a core into the Witch Doctor and just blow the core up.
First-rate hero selection.
But I also can see that Venge is quite a strong hero currently, and they just want to see whether the supports can play something else than just a box standard, easy-ish to play supports.
10 seconds.
And there's the Lash Burn. It was a little bit of a shellacking.
Yeah.
Yes.
5 seconds.
Geoff drafted a run at them strat and ran at them, and there was little they could do to bring themselves back in the game at that point. Ooh, now that's interesting. Gune Beastmaster. I wonder how that is faring at the moment in GTI. I've seen it thus
It's
far.
not been picked. I think the last time I
Is this
had a look at the page,
Is it a new hero?
but maybe it's been played
We're
before.
starting in 5 seconds.
I mean, it's typical Bean hero, I would
It has
say.
been played before. Two games it's been played.
2 games, okay.
And Mancaf have played it. and it's won 2 games. So
Okay. So bean played. Yeah.
Mhm.
Means it's a bean. Okay. Yep. I think Doom might still be unpicked. I think Doom was picked by a broken lobby once, but it's not been picked. And there's the Venom for Coop. Okay, so Coop doesn't want to play
Yes.
Lich. Coop wants to play Snake Boy.
although very impressive impact from Coop in the last game. So
Yeah, I
would
think
have liked to
it's
see Lich again.
this is probably Geoff now saying, Coop, thank you for standing in. Yes, you can play Jungle Veno level 1 and go rush the Skadi. So I'm looking forward to see how this lane will go.
Radiant's up.
Oh, and they picked the Shaker for Emu. Yeah, I mean it's you have to die one way or the other against Geoff, and I think banning out NZ's heroes, Tiny and the Timbersaw leaves you vulnerable to other playmaking heroes like Earthshaker. And I would for sure say this is Emu's hero. Probably again rotating early. And they picked the Spirit Breaker.
I really hate that.
Why? I mean, it's a
Because-
double melee offlane into a Monkey King.
Yeah, and not to mention the fact that one of the things that Breaker absolutely hates
10
is
seconds left.
these stuns
Now.
and slows,
Dyer's
of
turn
which
to pick.
every hero they've drafted so far has one or the other.
They pick up the Gyrocopter.
Gyrocopter, the other broken hero of this patch.
So I am looking forward how Geoff thinks about countering that in the offlane, because Shaker doesn't really like to,
10 seconds.
I would say, play against the Flak Cannon Gyrocopter that much.
5 seconds.
But it could also be, I mean, it could also be the other way around again, where Gyro doesn't really like to be fished off into a Brewmaster. Okay, yeah, that's the Brewmaster pick.
Yeah, this is also a lot of melee heroes from Geoff.
It is a lot of melee heroes, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and
This
we
is
have
the-
Hobbit in chat.
Yeah, hi Hobbit.
10
Hello,
seconds.
Hobbit.
Just long enough
What's
to
the
reflect
next pick
every
for
choice
Geoff?
you've made if you hurry.
Let's see if you know
Genius.
how they are drafting.
The inside goss.
Yeah. So they are looking to. So Gune has to think about what NZ might pick here to round this draft off. I think this could actually be something like a puck, but then again they have raw.
Yeah, I could see.
They have raw, so I could
but
see
it's-
a storm spirit or something to set that up. I could see.
No, I think you're right with the puck. I think it's gonna be the puck's gonna be the setup, isn't it? The puck catches them with the dream coil, and then Shaker can freely jump in and slam on them. You have Monkey King to drop in an ult on them, Brew to run and charge in.
Yeah.
Primal split.
Dyer
I mean, I
better to
think
goals.
they definitely need a hero that sets
Okay.
up the Earthshaker. So they need a hero that goes in. They
I
ban
would've
out
said-
Invoker and Arcwarden.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's what Geoff would go for. I
No,
think they're
Invoker
looking at a
maybe.
playmaker. Yeah, maybe.
I think it could have picked Invoker for the Tornado build. Tornado EMP is an absolute nightmare.
And it's still a
Couldn't say
little
what-
bit finicky. And
Couldn't say
5
which.
seconds.
It's a Jim Bliggity Invoker. When people say like a
All right,
Quaz,
Dyer's turn.
whatever.
Quaz-Wax.
What does that mean? It's not real words. They're made up
It's-
words.
It's Quas, Wax, Exort are the 3 spells by Invoker, and you say the combination
Just said-
in which you build it.
Yes,
depends-
I understand the concept, but I feel like you've just said 3 random words at me.
Yeah,
I think
that's.
they're actual spell names.
I mean, Kieran, genuinely, every word is made up.
Radiant's turn to pick.
No, we stole a lot of our words from other places. Okay. That isn't the playmaker I was expecting. Oh, I guess it can be. FedEx
I
is
hate
lagging
this.
badly. Yeah, I don't like the TA pick, but there we are.
I absolutely hate this. But sure, why the hell not? Why not throw?
I'm
for
guessing they're
content?
thinking that this Brew and Shaker are going to be the front line.
Yeah, and
This
that
TA.
could work, but I can also see this TA being lagging to fuck somewhere, blinking into the trees or on a cliff.
Oh gosh.
And they pick up the Zeus.
Ooh, and the Zeus
I don't
for the
think
reveal.
Zeus is great against TA.
Uh,
Because refraction makes Zeus.
no,
deal
it's
no
nice to
damage,
have the.
so-
It's nice to have the reveal for. I mean, this TA into Breaker and Zeus is gonna be a little bit sad because of the reveal, but it's kind of nice from a. Okay, Falcus has an unskinned Witch Doctor, and so does Mori. That's.
They might load in, maybe later. Who knows? They might also be unskinned.
Dire offlane, the Schmupp and Emu offlane. I think this is gonna cause problems for the gyro.
I am gonna eat my hat maybe in a couple of minutes, but I think Mori will have a giga sad time in the offlane.
You think so? Into the webinar? Yeah, okay, yeah, into webinar Coop. Would you be tempted
he
to
might
move
be
this,
maxing Axis and just farm from afar, but otherwise I'm not really sure. The only thing that I see with the Beastmaster, like getting out of lanes, I'm not really sure that they have a good way to deal with Helm of the Overlord creep on besides maybe NZ later on.
Are you in a wind tunnel?
Oh no, that's sorry.
All I can hear is shh.
That's
at the top of
just my fan going. Because the game is heating up.
Ah, ha 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 ha.
Oh,
I've heard that joke before.
way.
Tell me about cycling content.
Yeah, I know.
I remember to change over to the draft screen this time. Good
Not the
luck,
draft
have
screen.
Fun.
Get ready.
The game screen this time.
Aftershocks.
Okay, so we have Inglorious on the Midzus. That's not a surprise with the POS 4. It's a POS 4 Spirit Breaker, we think. Or do you think they put him 5 with...
I was thinking this exact thing. Do you switch this round and have... Do you effectively sack off one of the lanes, the safe lane, knowing that this gyro is going to go off to farm? Looks like Geoff are going for the same idea. Will they run straight at them again? Is the question. They are farting about on their way down. I was wondering whether you sack off your safe lane.
5-man smoke on Gune, which...
All right, everybody, 30 seconds.
They fully are aware that they're probably walking up here
And
right
it's broken now.
Yep. But they... Schmupster should go down
This
here.
is a dead Schmupster. Yeah.
First blood goes to Gune, killing Schmupster. Webinar does get off his Jingo stacks, but he's in a little bit of trouble here. Might also be a death note. Emu tries to save him. Looks like he will be successful in that.
That was another really shit for level 1 engagement.
Supports at
Yeah.
your side.
If they're going to do this on Geoff, they've got to smoke up and go the long way around, I think, and wait for the rune to spawn and try and pinch him on the rune, rather than just this running blind up the high ground.
But then again,
Into 5.
it might be a win for mid, because Inglorious starts on 75 mana in this mid lane, so he needs his right clicks to farm. He also didn't get the first blood. That went to the Witch Doctor.
So they are putting the Spirit Breaker top.
Yeah.
Which I guess is actually maybe worthwhile, because you're going to have 2 melee cores running, 2 melee heroes running E-bot. Maybe that's what you want. You want the Witch Doctor sitting there with the bongos ready.
Not this time.
Yeah,
Not
and
seen,
this
already played this
Beastmaster is
Beastmaster.
picking up Wild Axis level 1, and I think he will probably try to farm with it. Because he probably knows that he can't approach the wave.
It's a much nicer lane for them in the off lane this time, compared to that. Compared to the Centaur into the Lich, Monkey King.
I'm not sure about that. I think it's as awful for them to play into. But
No, I think the Beastmasters can get a lot more out of it with these wild axes. It's not as horrible. I mean, it's still not great. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's nicer than it was in the previous lanes. In the previous games.
That's a second blood to Webanana.
Yeah.
I really don't see this to be like, I don't see this as a better lane for Gune. I think this is equally horrible, if not worse. Sure, it's harder for Coop to press the spell, but once Coop hits level 3, I don't think this Beastmaster walks anywhere if he's venomous galed and trying to run away from a Monkey King, slapping him with Pingu stacks. So the double gale by Coop. The level 29 Venoments are coming in clutch there. I think mid lane is a little bit of a farm fest, I would say. NZ is doing relatively well. Midwise.
Charge through, but this might just be death for Dark Phoenix here, yeah. Not the charge you want him making, I don't think. As the Hawk is going. Use the Hawk for the last hit.
I was very happy when I saw the change to Hawk, but I think it's extremely annoying. That's a Maledict coming out on Schmupster.
Yeah,
in the bot lane, but nothing really comes out of it.
It's only going to be level 1 Maledict, yeah.
So I think Mori realizes what kind of lane this is, and he puts 2 points into Wild Axes. So I think he will try to spam out the waves, or at least get the last hits as much as he can. But I think Were Banana has boots flying out, so this lane is gonna be even sadder in a couple of seconds.
He's playing off to the side. They are attempting to go on Schmupster here. He's half health with Maledict on him, but still don't think it's been enough to cause him any real concern. Still only level 1 Maledict. Meanwhile, top, Mori very low on health. Has got a tank on the go, but is slow by Venomous Gale. They do have vision, thanks to a nice little ward here. Although the tree is blocking out the little bit he's standing in.
And in the mid line, Inglorious is actually up on HP by a tiny fraction.
Well, they have the gyro trapped, but it's not enough. Schmupster doesn't want to commit for it.
Oh, and Coop picked up level 4, so
yeah.
Snack is slowing even more.
Double spit, double gale. Seeing a lot better last hitting from the Gune safe lane this time.
Yeah, I think this time around it's also the mid line. There are 10 denies on the Zeus. I think overall they are doing way better, but Mori is suffering more.
Yeah.
So they have a sacked lane more or less.
Yeah, I think maybe the Spirit Breaker should be going and making stacks, and Mori should be maxing these Wild Axes. So that would be a huge recovery for him if they can. Does mean a commitment to effectively give this lane over to the Monkey King, because the Beastmaster wouldn't be able to farm it. Oh, we could have trouble in the bot lane. Schmupster sitting very low and has got Maledict on.
Also maledicted.
Yeah, both Maledicted. It looks like Schmupster will just about live, except for the Zeus ult comes
double
through
kill with the Zeus ult
in the nick of time to pick up a double kill.
That is
got 6.
Yeah, you need to against the Zeus.
before,
You need to have someone on your team that says Zeus is almost 6 by raindrops.
Yeah, I think he must have just hit 6 then, because I can't see why else he'd hesitate. And then FedEx hit 6 a second later, so much better work going on here from Gune this time. And a lovely double kill for Inglorious in the mid line.
Don't you start yawning on me, Kieran.
Ah,
We are still in the lanes.
No.
This game is still exciting. You can yawn when it's like 20k lead, but don't yawn on me now. Don't do this to me. Please. I think the bot lane, it is not a disaster for Geoff, but is definitely not how they would have liked it to be.
This is probably a death for the Spirit Breaker here. Yep, finished off with the Jingu. Boundless Strike, sorry,
Spraying
with
everywhere.
Jingo stacks on him.
Just adorable.
FedEx is making some aggressive plays mid, really sitting mid and trying to push the Zeus out, which is hard to stop him Zeus getting any last hits with that Q available. Maybe used to go with a double map to get their Wisdom Rune. Gune have not gone for theirs yet, but I'd hope to see Spirit Breaker walking over there. Yeah, okay, TPing over there and probably just charge to lane after.
Yep. One last run. To heaven.
Coop does get a kill on Mori's Courier. I'm not entirely sure what that was, but it's out at their own secret shop. No, I think maybe... Oh yeah, potentially, because she went and put a ward up on that cliff, so...
Yeah, but it
Really
might
should-
have also been just an AFK courier somewhere. A map misclick or something. There was no reason for the courier to be there, I think, so...
Emu has been making stacks in their triangle. He's going for another one right now.
Yeah, I
In
mean...
fact, he's stacking both ancients and...
Yeah, but the ancient one is blocked by the Fisher, so he didn't stack that, unfortunately. But still, FedEx will love this. Once he transitions out of lane, can farm it up in the triangle. But then again, this is a double-edged sword, because if Gune scouts that out, they maybe...
Those are good bongos.
Yeah, good bongos,
And
good
a Maledict
Maledict.
to catch a Schmupster.
And there's a
He's
Zeus
low.
ult available. Yeah.
Zeus ult.
And Schmup
Primal
needs to split to not die to the Maledict.
Now he's going on, but now he's going on the Gyrocopter and the Witch Doctor.
I think there was just a lift on the...
Should be a death for... Yeah, well, it's good bongos, but it should be a death for our Witch Doctor.
Nice split. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Mori is running for his life. There's
They
a...
killed mate. Oh, this is gonna be a death for Beastmaster here.
Oh no!
Oh, it's a great
He
cut.
cuts
He cuts the
tree.
tree.
And
Nearly
Banana
killed. He
dies to the neutral queen. Oh my
Actually-
god, there was a series of events.
He won't be unpleased with that because that means he's coming back to life in 20 seconds, full health.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
but
that was
I mean,
very unfortunate.
Coop loving her life currently on the tower, getting this juicy farm there, but Coop is
He's being
charged by a
charged.
Spirit Breaker.
Don't know that.
I
Spirit
don't
Breaker
think
has...
that the Spirit Breaker can charge
enough
Coop
here.
under tower. Yeah, and he
No,
stops
and
the
has
charge. Okay.
But the two of them could decide to make a move here with axes available. Yeah. But Webinar's back up and he's coming back into the lane already. FedEx going and taking those stacks.
I think that's actually the time where Emu should take the mid lane and get the XP there. But he's currently loitering in the bot lane. And I think in the top lane they are looking for picking up the 6 on the Beastmaster, and that's where, yeah, they are starting to go on Webanana. I think Webanana needs to fight. Yeah, okay. Nice, good kill on Mori. I
Apologies, I was
think they
looking
can
for-
turn this.
They should be able to kill Dark. Yeah. So yeah, I was watching the bot lane. Schmupster was they were making a move on the Gyrocopter and Schmupster wasn't able to didn't have splits available.
And Inglorious was killed by NZfedX midline. So
It's kills in every lane. So.
kills in every lane but the lane you were focused on.
Yes, but pretty much. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but I told you the stories from afar, from battlefields.
There we are. That's what we need, isn't it? The verbal reports, administrations from the other lines.
And there's
Has
another split
split
in the bot
available?
line.
The bongos slow up a little bit.
Is there a fish
No.
available? There's no fish available for 9.
Oh, we've had a disconnect from
And the Beastmaster is gone.
Mori, who is on level 5.
Is this a
Into a
rage
level-
quit?
Level 8 Monkey King, level 7 Venno. We have a level 5 on Beastmaster. It's a little bit sad. And in contrast, no stacks available. Whereas FedEx is still happily taking the stacks available to him. But that'll be. I mean, if there was some Beastmaster stuff, that would recover. They are worried. This should be a death for Koala Killer here. I don't. Is there a way out of this for him? TP's coming in. Who's this TPing in? Is this Witch Doctor TPing
No,
in?
I don't think he can kill the Brewlings in time.
This is
There is a Spirit Breaker TPing.
Oh yeah, Spirit Breaker. Yeah.
Because the Witch Doctor is in the air.
Oh yes, that's right.
But there's a Witch Doctor ult available, so there's the potential to turn this at least. There's splits. How long is the split still going?
Yeah, if he comes down and drops Maledict ult, he might be able to get a kill on one of these Brewlings.
Yeah, but that won't really matter. I think what they need to do is they need to wait out the 9 seconds of the Brewmaster ult and then just get the return kill.
I don't think they can afford to. I think the problem. I mean, they can try and get the return kill, but I think probably by the time that happens,
Koala Killer's dead.
No, but I mean, I think probably the Witch Doctor's dead as well. Before that, they wait out any ult. I'm not sure the Barra coming.
I don't think so.
Will make a difference.
I don't think so.
Does the Earth Panther have Throw Boulder? Good question.
It's on a 5-second cooldown, so it will come up before the split ends.
He's used Astral Pull as well. I've never looked to see what the Brewlings themselves do. I just know that one of them throws you in the air and is really annoying.
I did not know that the Void Panda has Astral Pull.
Goodness.
Because I'm not touching any hero where I need to micro.
Oh, that's a bit cheeky.
Okay, but we are back on Mori, and the game can continue, and we are focusing on the bot line.
Yeah, absolutely.
Koala Killer is
the stun goes
going
out,
down now,
and
Schmupster wisely disengages.
The Witch Doctor gets lifted again by the Cyclone. Going for the... Oh yeah, there we are. This is the bit that I was saying was sad for Spirit Breaker. If the Earthshaker's is a decent player or paying attention, it's like every time you charge, you just get stunned.
So, how do Gune proceed from here? I think the only core that has a really good game is the Zeus, and he almost has his Phylactery. He's 700 gold away. I think you wait for that, and then you probably group with your supports around the Zeus, I would say. But I think Mori just needs to, I don't know where, but he probably needs to find a kill with his Primal Raw and catch up on levels with that. Even killing Coop now. Coop is level 8. I think that would be a worthwhile Raw. And where Banana just picked up 5 bounty runes.
I just saw that, yeah. The thing is, I think I really think this Gyro needs to go disappear into the trees somewhere and start farming up some stacks. He's not far behind, but I really think he's going to start suffering from the let's just keep running up the enemy carry over and over again strategy that Geoff seemed to employ.
There's a blink on NZ. Blink and DD on NZ. Oh, but they
You can tell Dyer's
miss.
Oh,
they missed so many
Oh,
spells
they got the Spirit Vessel out. Not enough. Unfortunate that.
Dyer's middle tower is taking
I think Emu hesitating there with his Fissure.
Oh, nearly pushed him onto the... Phoenix comes in to finish the kill on Dark Phoenix. Spirit Vessel used, maybe unnecessarily, but...
Dyer's middle tower is
It is, I think, generally not recommended to fight in a double damage TA.
No.
I don't understand
Still has it up.
much, but...
For another few seconds. We'll try and get a bit of damage out onto Inglorious. Maybe going a little bit deep here, under tower.
And unfortunately, NZ denied his own trap there.
Yeah, he did it to get the meld strike, right?
I think he misclicked because the meld didn't go on. Didn't go on
side
this
blades.
boost there.
Instead, they had to charge on him. Okay.
Okay, they killed
top lane.
Mori in the top lane, but it is
Yeah.
an inconsequential kill. I think the charge that is
They
not
have brought
finished.
numbers
in NZ.
mid. No, they did bring numbers, but they're afraid to go in. I think they're a bit worried about where Geoff is, but they do know that 3 were sitting top, so maybe that would have been the time to complete that charge with the Witch Doctor and the Zeus available.
But I think Zeus Power Spike coming now. Phylactery is done, so that's at least something, a little bit more burst for the Zeus. There's also the ultimate is available. I think they are smoking now as 4, and they are gonna try to find a kill. Mori's
Schmupster
ult is down
finds-
though with 50.
And Schmupster finds Koala Killer again in the jungle. pops the final split and gets a kill.
They are looking for Were Banana. Were Banana is very low, so this will probably be another Were Banana death.
Not sure about leading with the.
Middle tower is about to be
Oh, and he
Ooh,
didn't
tries
get the leap off.
Tries to dodge the bunker. This is gonna be a death here.
Yep.
With the ults up. No ult still on the Spirit Breaker. He's not able to. Wasn't able to finish that. Even that kill didn't get him to level 6. The Wisdom Rune is available. The 14-minute one for their team. They could consider picking up.
Radiant's middle tower just got smashed all down.
Wow. Okay. Were Banana is salty. I think he doesn't like that he's always the target of the ganks on his team. They're going mid on this NZ hero on the TA, but Dark Phoenix is fished off beautifully.
Absolutely in trouble there. Look, Grayson Decorova reversing them, throwing their wheels up. I don't know what Were Banana is on about. They're sticking around this fight.
This is a dead Schmupster.
So,
Split is not available.
yeah. Zeus ult's quite big, but it's not
3
enough.
people die for. Probably is 4 people dead. There's a fish available as well.
It's a difficult game for Gune, and I can't say that it's not the lane. I can't say it's the lanes this time because I felt like they should have got more out of that lane top. Particularly early with the axes, securing those last hits should have been a little bit easier. But that's sometimes the way it goes. I would have liked to see them swap the supports.
Yep.
And have this Witch Doctor in the top lane. I think it makes it a little bit of a different game. Makes the Monkey King a little bit harder to step up.
I agree. I think the double melee into Monkey King is something you should avoid like the plague.
Because you're just handing him Jingu stacks.
Yeah. I think what they could have done is pulled waves and try to make the lane a little bit funky for the Monkey King, but
Shield Rune on TA bottled. So FedEx will be probably looking to get a kill now with that, and it actually is, instantly making a move into the jungle bot. Probably looking to try and take this tower, I suspect, because tier 1 untaken still.
Yep.
Were Banana sets this. Were Banana and Coop set the sights on the Beastmaster. He does go down. Relatively little effort.
Why is Beastmaster in this lane?
I don't know.
I think
That's a good
Beastmaster
question.
should have learned by now that wherever Were Banana is, there's death for the Beastmaster. And their Witch Doctor's gonna die as well.
Yeah, they have got this site. Emu is backed off here. I'm not sure why.
Oh,
It's a good ult.
that is a good ult, and that
Maybe
might be... There's 2 Maledictics.
It's not really enough.
It
is
is
enough. And if it wasn't,
goes down.
the Zeus ult then might have been enough.
But
Anyway,
NZ
on
is
the bot lane, they
diving
pick up the
tier
kill on
2s.
Koala. Pick up the kill on Koala Killer, and then they're going for the Beastmaster ult's used. Is it enough to catch this Master? He's very low on his last Bruling, but he manages to recombine, and they pick up the double kill on NZfedX on the Spirit Breaker and the Beastmaster. That's going to be a difficult one to recover from, and so I suspect going to be a tier 2 tower, although they don't have creeps currently.
That is...
They get the kill on the early kill with the Bruling split. Got them the kill on the Gyrocopter.
A fresh Deso with already 3 charges on NZfedX.
Yeah.
And NZfedX is 8-0 on this mid TA. I said I didn't like the pick. I officially never said that. It's a brilliant pick.
Kieran, I can't tell whether you mean that was like a really good raw or that was.
No, it
madness
was a
to use
really
it
bad
then.
roll because they used the roll on a Bruling, which is not really advisable, I think. So I think there was a little bit of frustration and desperation in there, but yeah. Mori is going for the axe, but he's still pretty much the whole item away from it.
Well, not pretty much. He is the entire item away. He doesn't have
Yeah, that's true.
component of it
Just
yet.
wanted to make it sound a little bit better. Zeus, however, is at least a quarter way to the axe as well. I don't think people build ags
Radiant's middle tower is
as a first item anymore.
No, this is criminal. I think this is criminal. Going for the Shadow Blade on Spirit Breaker right now. The state of the game, I don't think you can be forward to going. That Shadow Blade's not going to change the outcome of this game.
I mean, it might allow the Spirit Breaker to charge and finish a charge, because I mean, you've pointed out that there is already like the issue with the Fissure. There is the Venom that can slow the Spirit Breaker to crawl. So it might be the only solution.
We have a Chrysalis on Gyrocopter. I would like to see Gyro. I would have liked to see one of the supports pick up a save item. I mean, they're picking up a Glimmer now on the Witch Doctor, but as we all know, Glimmer is only on a Witch Doctor is only for the Witch Doctor.
Avert your eyes from Koala Killer, who not only left a tier 2 token on the ground, but has also queued a Dragon Lance, a Hurricane Pike even.
I saw this, yeah. I was gesturing at it. I don't understand this. Friend, I think this is not the play here.
No. I mean, it might recognize the state of the game, but if you think the game is giga shit already, I don't think buying a Dragon Lance, or even like thinking about the Hurricane Pike is the move. I think you need to buy small items that make you, like help you to fight. But at least Koala Killer calls the Roche for Geoff.
Koala Killer says, "Hey, are you roaching?"
I mean, there's good banter between the two teams at least.
Yeah, the Shard would have been a good pickup on TA, but on Gyro, sorry. But it's also, I think, one of those pickups that maybe you don't think about at the time, but you're busy focusing on the next item.
I think also he is a little bit stuck between two worlds. Like, I think most gyros, they just max Flak Cannon and they leave Rocket Barrage and Homing Missile at level 1, and then they put everything in stats because they just want to right click. But I think he's... Oh, they call GG.
Oh, they have actually called it. Coop has found the tier 2 token. Yeah, they have actually called GG.
That was a little bit of 21-minute game.
Yeah, there was a little bit of banter going backwards and forwards where they were saying, you know, this is the game's going to happen. Like they were saying, oh, it's boring. We know what you're going to do. And Webbanana said, well, if you know what we're going to do, why don't you just stop it? Or Schmupster said that. But I wasn't expecting to GG out.
No,
honestly.
But to be honest, it might be a smart move to just preserve mental energy for the next series for Gune. Geoff, however, is playing in, I think, in an hour. So they have 50 minutes to just chill.
Good 50 minutes for them to recover. But yeah, wow. Game finito.
Game finito. Right. I mean, given that we have a lot of time until the next cast, do we want to see if someone wants to jump in and talk to us, or do we leave it there because we don't do exit interviews?
Yeah. I don't mind. We could see if someone wants to join.
I'm just gonna... Anyone else? Interview.
Well, no, let me do it because I don't.
Oh, I just.
Yeah, I got it.
I'm already.
No, because I don't want just anybody joining.
Oh.
Never mind.
It's too late.
Mm-hmm.
Take both. Either. Okay, Schmup wants in. Let's get Mori in.
Oh yeah, we need to ask someone to.
We can't.
He can't join us. No, we can't drag. That's the thing.
That's very true. Do we have Redolus with modding powers who can drag people maybe in chat still?
Thank you. Could you just move Mori across, please?
Hi. Oh, hi Mori. You're live.
Sorry, you've been dragged into the live channel. Thank you for joining us. Before we get into this, good game. I appreciate that maybe you didn't feel like that.
Oh no,
maybe you
it's
could talk to
absolutely
us.
fine.
Maybe you could talk to us about the GG, what the thought was there, because that was, I guess, a little bit unexpected. We could see the old chat going on, and the vibe seemed to be, well, you're just going to do the same thing, but the GG seemed a little bit out of the blue. So
It was just we know we knew we were kind of on the back foot anyway, like just from the start, because Geoff is one of the favorites and we are definitely not. And I think we just agreed that we were expecting them to push high ground, not go Roche, because they were so far ahead. And the general consensus was that if they don't want to end it, then we will end it on our own terms, I believe.
Fair enough. I mean, I think it's fair to recognise that's where the game state lies. It wasn't the second game looked a lot closer to start with in the lanes, and then obviously the first game was what it was. You had some good fights here and there, but maybe you could talk about what you fixed in the draft between the two games, because we felt like your second draft was much better than your first draft.
It was better. I agree with that, and I feel like we had a better start off. But unfortunately, I think we just lost the mindset or the motivation between the two games, because the first game was a bit rough, and I think it went a bit downhill there, in all honesty. But we were trying our best, so
Yeah, and that's fair enough. That's all you can ask from him, really.
Yeah.
I had heard potentially that you were going to be playing with crazy ads today. Or maybe I'm.
Oh, that was
that a...
that was just our contingency plan. Unfortunately, Dark Phoenix has
see.
a very tight schedule with work, and we didn't know whether or not he can make it in time. Fortunately for us, he did, and we are glad that he, took the extra effort of making sure that he could. But we just wanted to clear it out first with everybody, that we could switch in crazy on a moment's notice, basically. Because on the other hand, we were also a bit on a tight schedule. Tomo needed to have the game start at 8 because I believe he needs to go to work very early. So it was a bit of a compromise and we wanted that cleared out before anything else, basically, just as a contingency plan.
Yeah.
So
can you maybe tell me a little bit about, because Geoff picked Monkey King first pick in both drafts.
Yes.
What were you thinking? Okay, what were you thinking?
What were we thinking?
Beastmaster into this? No. What was your reasoning doing it like choosing the lane setup in game 2 after you already knew kind of what to expect from that lane?
Well, the bands pretty much speak for themselves. We were a bit scared of Schmupster team, so we were scared of Tinker, and we were, what was the other one?
Ember Spirit.
Ember Spirit,
NZfedX
yes.
and Ember Spirit.
Yes.
Which I agree with. I think they were smart bands.
Yes, we were in a hard place of like, well, we can either ban what they played well last game, or we can give them all the picks that they played well in all the other games, because there's really no winning here. And the particular pick of Beastmaster into Monkey and also Center is simply our pulse 3 is not very good, which is me, so I'm allowed to say that. And I can't play that many pulse 3 heroes decently enough or well enough at all, so that was pretty much let's just try it choice.
Yeah.
It wasn't a targeted, like, I didn't think I would do much better on Beastmaster than I did on Center, but Center wasn't working out, so I just tried to do something. Yep. And to be fair to myself, at least, we had him low a bunch of times, but Coop is just too good of a support and actually protected him really well, in my opinion. Just like
the pickups on the Frost Shield level 1 is one that goons often forget.
Yeah,
it's incredibly strong.
Yes,
it makes it so hard to run. And then the Veno is one of Coop's speciality heroes.
Yes.
So she was really, I think, really able to
shine.
Show the fact that she's got a lot of experience on it.
She was very much on top of that, and she protected Banana just in the right moments when we were already kind of like just trying to get something out of the lane and diving the tower. A bit foolhardy, I suppose, yes, but you gotta try and seize opportunities, even if it's obviously it was bad choice, but you can just sit around and do nothing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I have a question about the Spirit Breaker pick in
Yeah.
the second game. That that was a bit of a wild one, I think, because I think at that point you had already seen Monkey King, Venno, and Shaker, and it's a little bit sad into all three of those, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Is there a
Um,
particular reason? What was the reasoning behind that pick? Is it just a comfort pick for Dark Phoenix? Or?
I suppose you couldn't call it a comfort pick. He was convinced that this could work, and we just agreed with him. Well, we
Okay.
weren't, we just gave him that choice as his own comfort pick, I guess you could say.
And did you talk at all about switching the Witch Doctor and the Spirit Breaker over and not having this double melee into Monkey King, Venno?
We had an idea. Actually, if I may mention, Falcus apparently also wants to get an interview if you want to pull him in, because he actually picked the pigs, and if you want to get more accurate information on that.
I think just to give a little bit of save also for Dark Phoenix Spirit Breaker, I think it makes sense with the Zeus to have like double global presence. So if you were setting up your Zeus pick later on, I think that makes good sense. I just think that maybe for next time, if you lose the offlane hard, I think the Spirit Breaker just needs to move across the map and go to other lanes and make shit happen there, because you've already lost the lane, I think, at level 2 or 3 for you on Beastmaster, and you just sat back with wild access anyway. So just maybe something to consider.
Yes, yes.
But I don't know, Kieran, do we want to interview Falcus as well, or do we want to get someone from Geoff in?
I think we'd like to try and grab someone from Geoff as well.
Okay.
So thank you very much, Mori. Thank you for joining us, and good luck in your next series.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, and then we, I don't know if we see someone from
If we can get Where Banana in, would probably be quite good.
Is Where Banana around?
He is in GTA Lobby A. Unfortunately, I can't move him, but if someone listening is able to move Where Banana into us, I'd appreciate that as well.
Otherwise, Kieran, we can also just leave the casters and ask Where Banana if he joins us in another open channel. If Red is not around to drag, but I assume that Red probably is setting up a stream currently, so
quite possibly, yeah.
I'm just gonna send. Oh, I can't send something to Where Banana. Do we want to move this to a secret hidey hole?
Yes, we'll move it to. We'll move it.
Okay. This will maybe take 10 seconds, and then we're back with hopefully the interview.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Hello.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Hello. We joined for Where Banana.
Hello.
I hope that game
for joining
was
us.
suitably entertaining.
Yeah, well played. It was an entertaining game to watch. A lot of action. Didn't feel like you guys were sitting on your haunches and meandering around the map, so that was entertaining from our perspective. Do you want to maybe tell us what it was like for you playing? Obviously, a good game.
I mean, it was great fun. I think the focus on FedEx really helped us, because I mean, we know what he's like. If you FedEx can just sit in a mid lane and do okay. So if people keep banning out his heroes, brilliant. More for the rest of us to have fun with.
Yeah.
I think the first game was definitely a bit harder for me. I don't know why. There was something about the way the fights were panning out. I couldn't really feel like I could get a handle on them. But obviously, the Emu on the Tiny, really strong. Coop doing so much work. But I don't know. I feel like the first pick, Monkey King, it worked in our favor, and then I think going into the draft, that was the only hero that we kind of knew that we wanted. right? We wanted me
Okay.
playing Monkey King and being comfortable, and then everything else was kind of built around it. How can we get kind of in their faces as fast as possible?
It seemed to have panned out in your favor. In the first game, you said you had a harder time getting into these fights. Was that just because of sort of the swaps and things, or was that just your positioning in comparison? Because they were actively seemingly trying to play quite far back.
Yeah, yeah, I think the swaps definitely. The swaps were hard to play around. There were a couple of obviously the PL being a naturally quite slippy hero as well. I think there was one time in the top lane I tried to Brian will spring onto him and he missed, and then I just boundless struck the wrong way or something.
Yeah, we saw that.
It probably looked quite goofy.
And then that was followed by Schmupster trying to hook, missing the hook, and then getting tipped. And he was like, "Why are you tipping me?"
Yeah, well, because we were laughing about that because I did that, and obviously we were all laughing at me, and then Schmuck was the one that got the tip at the end of it.
Yeah.
That was quite funny.
But I honestly have to say, also like Gune played a pretty good series, and I think they also took it a little bit tongue in cheek. I think what Mori said was that they thought that you were the clear favorite, and they were just trying to make life as difficult as possible for you. And I think they did a good job. I think just game two, we also discussed with them a little bit draft-wise. Were you a little bit surprised that they didn't manage to find a counter against the first pick Monkey King?
Yeah, I mean, I at least definitely thought something was going to come out of it. You know, it's always a bit of a sting to your pride when other people's heroes last game get banned and yours doesn't. No, I thought, I thought they would come up with something maybe a bit more impactful. I mean, Beastmaster is great, and the axes were a little bit annoying to start with. I kept finding myself quite low, but ultimately, obviously, 2 melee heroes into a hero like Monkey that just really wants to be in melee range as long as possible. I think really, the only hero that I find I really struggle with as Monkey is Viper. Obviously, we get rid of.
Yeah, I noticed that.
That's why you protected the pick. I see. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean,
That's quite...
there's a lot of my heroes get kind of screwed by Viper. So, and Viper screws a lot of all of our heroes. So I think it's just to kind of,
get it out of there.
Nice. Yeah, nice defense. Obviously, you were playing with Coop, standing in for Hobbit. What was the mindset in the picking phase? Because obviously, you had in the first game, you had the open option of picking Coop Veno, but you left it. And in the second game, you picked it. Was it like okay, we've won a game, Coop, go wild, have what you want?
No, I think actually the Venomancer Monkey King combination is really strong. Like all the slow, it really lets you get on top of them. I think you saw that with the
yeah, definitely.
Base cow. We killed him quite a few times because he came a little bit too far and then he couldn't get away. But the first game we offered Coop the Venomancer. It was a toss-up between a Venom and a Lich, I think, and she ended up choosing to go for the Lich instead. And the first game, which was obviously really helpful because it had the Frost Shield, helped me quite a lot. And there was a massive fight, I think, in the mid lane at one point where just everyone seemed to blow up, and I think there was an Ice Spire and there was a Frost Blast. There was all kinds of stuff going on.
Yeah, there was some great Lich ults.
One thing you have to explain to me, Web Banana. What are these shitty level 1 fights that you're trying to set up?
Yeah, the running into the twice where you run. I mean, you got away with it in the first game, and then you proceeded to do it again in the second game, and they were all smoked. Literally, all 5 sat in a little semicircle, like watching you walk up this high ground, and you would slowly you'd walk towards it, and then walk a couple of steps away, and then walk back up to the high ground. It was the worst attempt at a level 1 gank I've ever seen, and you did it twice.
Yeah, the second game we didn't really know what was going on because I think 2 of us me and Coop were just chatting to FedEx kind of absent-mindedly. Shmup and Emu were down in the bottom lane like, come on guys, let's go for first. they sort of drew on the map and dragged me over. And I was kind of still chatting when I walked up the high ground, and I sort of turned my brain on and saw Schmupster stood in the middle of 5 of them, just dying.
Yeah, and Schmupster taking several points in rot in the first game, several points in rot before he had a point in the flesh heap, so he was almost practically killing himself at several times.
Yeah.
It was just against rot.
Yeah.
But all in all, a good game, and you have another series, of course, in about half an hour.
Yeah, about half an
Against-
hour. We're taking on Ice Shitters.
Yeah.
Yep.
So best of luck in that series.
Thank you very much.
And good luck with the rest of the tournament. I'm sure
I
we'll
mean,
catch up with you again.
Yeah, and I just hope that iShitters bans Monkey King now, because just for the sake of your mental state,
My
playing
pride,
a hero
I
4
know.
times in a
I
row.
know, I spent
Christ.
that much money on Immortals for the hero, and people are just letting me play it, so
Yeah, so the sort of value then.
yeah, I guess I'm getting my money's worth.
Absolutely.
Right, cheers, lads.
Cheers.
Thanks very much. All right, and on that note, we're going to end here. Thank you all those who tuned in. Thank you for the follows, and hopefully we'll see you in a later stream.
Yeah, and go watch Redolus now and see Series 2 of Geoff tonight against iShitters.
Red, what time are you planning on going live?
If Redolus is still in chat.
I don't have the ability to raid, so I'm good.
You don't have the ability to raid. Like
Well, it's not
5
live
minutes
anyway,
before, says Redolus. Okay,
Yeah.
so we let you go and go find Redolus' stream.
There you are, it's in chat. Go follow that. See you in about 25 minutes. I'm gonna be watching chat from the chat. Okay.
All right.
Thanks very much.
Good night. Bye bye.